This is News 4 San Antonio Today, the only local news station with nonstop news.
It is what we do. Good morning. Nonstop news starts right now. A little reminder here, we are the only TV station in town commercial free until the top of the hour.
We have you covered this morning. You just heard from Jeannette, and she'll give us a deeper look at weather again in just a few moments.
See Joy there at the top. See a lot of green. What's happening on the roads right now?
Yeah, across most of our major highways, it's not going to be a huge concern for you, but on the northeast side, we've got this situation that we're dealing with. So this is going to be the southbound lanes of I-35 as you're approaching Loop 1604. 45-minute delay right now. That is the biggest delay that we are facing at the moment. We do also have work happening downtown. That's going to be the southbound lanes of I-35 once again, but this time on the lower level between Alamo Street and Laredo Street. We also have delays in the northbound lanes as you're approaching 281. So pretty much all of our problems this morning are sitting on I-35. Again, the rest of our highways are looking okay, although photojournalist David Mendoza has been keeping a close eye on the roads for us and checking out a few different situations. He joins us now live from RoadCam.
Hey Joy, just making it to 10 East and 35 North at the WOAI for this slowdown. Not a lot of movement in the area. In fact, maybe a couple inches at a time. Very slow going. This looks painful. I'll let you know how it progresses. Back to you for now.
All right, David, thanks. Keep us updated. That's the latest.
Joy, thank you. It's the big national story of the morning. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history is over. President Trump signed Wednesday the funding bill passed by both the House and Senate to reopen the government after a historic 43 days. At the center of this historic shutdown were House Democrats and the sticking point of rising costs of health care. Congressman Joaquin Castro saying he voted no Wednesday night, saying the Affordable Care Act tax credits help 3 million Texans afford health care. Representative Henry Cuellar breaking from Democratic Party voting yes, also saying the next step is clear. Congress must extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
Inside the spending bill passed by House lawmakers, a provision here that would ban intoxicating hemp THC. And for hemp and THC businesses all over the state, that could mean the end.
Have to figure out something to pivot into that is not related to hemp. I'm not even sure yet. It's really difficult to come up with the entirely different business.
Yeah. In a post on social media, Texas Senator Ted Cruz said he is opposed to a federal hemp ban, saying that a one-size-fits-all federal standard will create unintended consequences that will ultimately harm the consumer. He did vote, however, in favor of an amendment saying that hemp regulation should be a state issue, but it was rejected by lawmakers. That ban is expected to take about a year to implement. In the United States, the legal hemp market is a $30 billion industry.
House Republicans are releasing more than 23,000 pages of documents from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. It comes after months of delays and after Democrats released emails on Wednesday suggesting President Trump knew far more about Epstein than he once said. The Associated Press reports in one email from 2011, Epstein said Trump knew about the girls. He also sent another email to Ghislaine Maxwell, his former girlfriend, saying the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. The president denies any knowledge of Epstein's crimes.
6:43 now. The FAA is capping flight cuts at 6% thanks to strong staffing levels and a drop in air traffic controller call-outs. The agency says it will now look to see when the system can gradually return back to normal as the government slowly reopens. Right now, Southwest Airlines has canceled one flight to Denver out of San Antonio International this morning, and United, a flight to Houston for tonight, has also been cut.
Back home in San Antonio, the family of a woman killed after a car crashed into her East Side home wants accountability from the city. Police say 70-year-old Janice Walker died when a car jumped the curb in front of her home off DeFost Avenue and I-10 Tuesday night. The car slammed into the front porch area. The driver ran off and still is on the run. Walker's family says this isn't the first crash there.
She had hedges and fencing. The city tore it down because it would have been prevented. Like I said, this is not the first time it happened. 2 years ago, it was a guy that did the same thing because the fence and hedges are gone.
The city's Public Works Department tells us the hedges in front of Walker's home were moved in 2023 when the city added sidewalks. The city staff will review DeFost Avenue to consider traffic calming measures.
Federal authorities now confirming the shooter in the triple murder-suicide at the landscape business over the weekend here was in the country illegally. ICE says that 21-year-old Jose David Hernandez Gallo came to the U.S. from Honduras in 2019. They say Gallo killed 3 of his co-workers at Mission Landscape Supplies there off Stall Road Saturday. Those victims named Selvin Chacon, Sergio Chacon, and Karen Batista. Then the shooter took his own life.
In the Allen at the Live Desk, hip-hop artist Akon spending some time behind bars after an arrest in Georgia. New police records show he was arrested and briefly held in jail outside Atlanta for a bench warrant issued for failure to appear for a suspended license. Akon's criminal history is not extensive despite claims he made in the early 2000s. Reports show he has criminal charges, though, stemming from when he flung a teenager into the crowd of a 2007 concert. That's the latest from the Live Desk.
All right, Emma, thank you. About 15 minutes now before 7 a.m. Only half the homes in America have cable TV, and we now know who will be getting that tariff dividend.
Jane King joins us live at the New York Stock Exchange with those stories and more. Good morning, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, David and Risa. Good morning. Well, not every American will get the $2,000 tariff dividend. It feels like they're still working out the details, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says it will likely be directed to Americans making less than $100,000. Now, even if the $2,000 payments were narrowed just to those making under that level, it would still have a roughly $300 billion price tag, according to the Tax Foundation. Well, the holidays are unfortunately a time when crooks take advantage of us. Law enforcement warning about ticketing scams as people just buy more tickets this time of year to go to holiday shows. The scammers primarily target residents through social media, particularly Facebook, and their typical approach involves posting comments claiming to resell tickets for seasonal events like parades and holiday concerts and breakfast with Santa. Now, officials say look for accounts with few or no friends, profile names that don't match websites, and accounts created within the past 6 months. Well, the cable TV industry is in steep decline. 15 years ago, nearly 9 in 10 U.S. households had a cable TV subscription. By the end of this year, that number will be 5 out of 10. Now, the estimate comes from Madison & Wall, the technology and media advisory firm, and it explains this is why Comcast to Warner Brothers Discovery to A&E are trying to spin off, spin off, or otherwise ditch most of their cable TV assets. Well, any parent of a student athlete knows it could get expensive. Conducted by Talker Research for BSN Sports, the study found the average athlete needs new equipment 3 times a year, and that they spend an annual total of $313. 1 in 9 spend upwards of $500. Now, for 64%, jerseys and gear are worth the financial investment because they represent pride and progress. And 9 in 10 caregivers say the time and money spent is an investment into the player's future. Okay, the Dow closed at a record high for a second day in a row. First time the Dow has been over 48,000, and it is the 17th record close for the Dow this year. Now, this morning we're mixed, kind of quiet actually, rallied into the end of the government shutdown, but then now that we've got it, I guess we're looking for the next big thing. Live from the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Back to you.
Am I the only old geezer between the 3 of y'all that still has cable? Because we got cable at my house.
Yeah, we don't have. We cut
We
the
do
cord
have
weeks
cable.
ago, like years ago. I should say.
Yeah. No, we pay for so much. I mean, we've got cable, we've got Netflix, we've got way too much.
Yes.
Like television.
But you know, when you add up
sure.
Hulu, Netflix, Prime, like it all adds up to how much your cable bill is.
Yes, it's still cable. Yeah,
much your
but Jane
cable is.
and I do the same
Exactly.
thing. We got cable and all of that. We need that. We need that. That check. We need that. We need that
we do.
tariff.
I need an audit.
Yeah,
Yes.
I need something. I need somebody to take control is what I need. The great Jane King live there in New York. Jane, have a great day.
Thanks.
Speaking of money, if you got just a couple $100 to just blow on
laying
something,
around.
yeah, this is. So Apple has unveiled a limited edition pocket case for your iPhone. It's basically, these are my words, a knitted purse or man bag. The long version you see here goes across your body. It sells for $230. The shorter version is like a handbag, fits around your wrist. It's $150. They go on sale tomorrow on Apple's website or retail locations nationwide. I kind of thought that might be the dumbest item ever until we see what you're about to read.
Is that right? Yeah, you're right. If you ever wanted a scarf that smells like a cough drop, you're in luck. Ricola launched its limited edition scented scarves infused with signature Swiss alpine herbs. The $40 scarves are available in lemon balm and mint and peppermint. There's even a holster for cough drops.
So it smells like a cough drop, huh?
Minty, lemony.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I don't want any of my clothes to smell like a cough drop. The
Yeah.
Mega Millions jackpot's getting close to $1 billion ahead of Friday night's drawing. Right now, the jackpot stands at $965 million. If you take that one-time payout, which everybody says you should, $445 million is what you get. Wow. It's the 8th largest jackpot in the game's history. Well, happening today, the San Antonio Public Works Department will celebrate the upgraded signals at major crosswalks over on the city's south side.
This follows a history of serious crashes in that area. News 4 San Antonio's Tawny Davis joins us live with the details. Good morning, Tawny.
Good morning. So the intersection of Southeast Military Drive and Old Corpus Christi Road is a major transportation hub in San Antonio. And because of it being so busy and the major crashes we've seen in that area recently, the city knew they had to do something to make sure that pedestrians remain safe. So back in August, there were 2 separate incidents where people were killed or suffered severe injuries crossing Southeast Military and Old Corpus Christi Road. Jeannette and her unborn child were killed on August 21st, and Noah Patterson was hit and seriously injured about a week later. Police say neither Espita or Patterson used the crosswalk when they were hit. Following that, residents in nearby neighborhoods urged city action to put the crosswalks in a more convenient place. That turned into today's activation of upgraded signals at the mid-block crossing. Safety enhancements have been implemented, including the relocation of the bus stop in accordance with the Vision Zero SA initiatives, which hopes to increase pedestrian safety. So the celebration of the new signals will be this afternoon at 1:30 p.m. and it will be at that intersection of Southeast Military and Old Corpus Christi. Reporting live, I'm Tawny Davis. Back to you.
Now your certified most accurate 4-zone weather with meteorologist Jeannette.
Milder and more humid this morning, and this trend will continue through the rest of the week, this weekend, including early next week. We'll have to watch for patchy fog, not just this morning, but tomorrow and Saturday morning as well. The afternoons will get quite warm. We're talking low 80s today, but we'll be closer to the mid 80s tomorrow into the weekend, including next Monday and Tuesday. It is a foggy start for parts of our area, especially across the east. That's a live look outside, thanks to our Raul Rodriguez lot weather camera in Gonzales. It looks like it's not really affecting street level view, but just be careful because that could change. The visibility map showing that visibility in Gonzales is right around 1/4 mile. Same for Victoria. Patchy fog closer to Lavaca County. Could also see some low clouds into Guadalupe County and Comal County. The observation site at the airport indicating it is mostly cloudy, but we're not seeing any visibility issues here. High pressure, that is holding on strong, and that's going to dominate straight through next week, at least next Tuesday. You see that storm that's approaching the Pacific? That is already producing, or approaching the west coast, I should say. That is already producing rain in San Francisco, some a bit heavy. That rain will get closer to LA later today. And then we'll see that storm system getting closer to our area early next week. That is what could produce a couple showers Tuesday, maybe a few showers Wednesday. But a stronger storm follows that one next Thursday. And that's when I believe we'll see an increased rain chance and cooler temperatures. We should see those highs in the lower 70s by next Thursday. So again, dry through at least Monday, 20% rain chance Tuesday, 20 to 30% rain chance Wednesday, then up to a 50% rain chance next Thursday. Hey, Thanksgiving is exactly 2 weeks away from today, and it is looking like a wet holiday. GFS model calling for a 60% rain chance and pretty good rain chance on the European model. Now temperatures are a little different, upper 70s on the GFS, upper 60s on the European. Hey, at least no 80s. And we'll likely have a pretty wet pattern for the last week of November. Milder with patchy fog early today, then partly to mostly sunny for the rest of the day. We'll get to about 83 here this afternoon. For the rest of the week, tomorrow 84 up to 85 Sunday through Tuesday. And then temperatures will start to decrease by Wednesday. Here's the extended forecast for the other 3 zones. As I always say, you can get this online at news4sa.com and make sure you have that 4-zone weather app so you can keep an eye on radar and also watch for the fog this morning.
All right, time to check in on the roads again, and I want to start off here by checking on poor David Mendoza. He's live in road cam right now. And David, it looks like you're a little stuck. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same spot from the last time we talked. In fact, I've only moved about 20-30 feet. Not a lot of movement, nearly at a standstill at 10 East to 35 North. If you got places to be, do not take this roadway. Take San Pedro and McCullough into downtown. I will leave you with that. Drive safe. Have a great Thursday, and back to you.
All right, David, thanks. We appreciate it. This is what he's talking about right there. We do have a lot of construction happening downtown, both along I-10 and I-35. We also have this hour delay on the northeast side, southbound lanes of 35 as you're approaching Loop 1604. An accident on the west side along Loop 1604 not causing too many problems. As the latest with your on-time traffic.
In the Allen at the Live Desk, Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy posting to social media about the government shutdown. Duffy placing the blame of the country's longest government shutdown in history on Democrats, saying nearly 20,000 delayed flights were because Democrats refused to pay controllers. He went on to say the DOT is ready to get back to work for the American people. But on the other side, Democratic lawmakers saying they will continue to fight for the Affordable Care Act tax credits, the main topic of debate during the shutdown. That's the latest from the Live Desk.
All right, Emma, finally, little personal note here. I'm running on empty because of a late night last night, but my heart is full because of my friends that you see there, Andrew McAllister and Ross Orman. They are the soul of something called the Believe It Foundation. I was honored to MC their foundation celebration last night, and what a year it's been for them. They buy, build, and deliver hundreds of these adaptive bikes for kids all over South Texas. They've been doing this now for 17 years. It's all about inclusion and connection and friendship, making sure every child gets what every child deserves. A childhood filled with love, laughs, and shared experiences. And last night, really in about 5 minutes time, we raised $100,000, which will be used to support even more kids of all abilities in South Texas. Andrew McAllister is, quite simply, one of the most amazing people I have ever met. I am honored to call both he and Ross friends.
So proud of how generous San Antonians are.
They're amazing.
Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you.